Let me introduce you to a faster, more flexible, more artistic and more unique alternative to standard computer models, digital design and drawing, which you can absolutely learn too, even if you haven't sketched a single line in your life. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anna and I've worked with interior designers, real estate agencies, developers and homeowners to bring their vision to life using only my iPad, no external software needed. And I'm also your iPad design mentor, having coached tens of thousands of creatives through my masterclasses, courses and workshops. And today in this video, I'll show you top 5 most common iPad techniques that'll save you tons of time, money on your own design and home reno processes, not to mention make you fall in love with drawing in general. I can't stress enough how essential this technique is, and not just for interior designers or artists, but for anyone doing home renovation projects. And look, my students totally agree with me, by the way. These are 2 kitchen makeovers brought to life entirely on the iPad based on a simple photo. And that brings me to 2 interior design approaches on the iPad, which you can use for this kind of home makeover. The first approach is called the integrated technique, and this is when you import your furniture items, decor elements, step by step without needing to draw them from scratch. And the second approach is called the hand-drawn technique. This is when you create your space from scratch, but based on a simple photo, so that your future space, your future room has that unique artistic flair. Everything depends on how much time you have. Obviously, time is money nowadays. Actually, let me show both of the approaches to you now on my iPad, okay? All right, welcome to the Procreate app. This is the drawing app I create all of my projects in. And now I'd like to show you 2 design techniques which are going to help us bring this loft to life. Let's start with a detailed drawing technique. I'm going to show you the before and after. And the entire space was drawn from scratch, but based on the picture of the loft. I'm now going to show you the drawing process from A to Z, but I wanted to quickly mention that this is my painting, and one of the ideas behind this project is to show how my painting looks in this kind of space. Super practical. I mean, the entire iPad drawing technique, iPad design technique, when you need a space that doesn't even exist yet. All you need to do is to either design your own space or simply generate some ideas with AI, but we'll be talking about AI a little bit later in this video. Now, I'd like to show you what a quick design technique looks like. Here, we don't draw the space from scratch. Instead, we define the proportions so that the entire furniture items are to scale, and then we insert elements one by one. And this approach allows us to test multiple design choices when you're not sure which sofa to pick. For instance, in my case, I was choosing between 3. You can let me know in the comment box, by the way, which sofa would you prefer in this particular loft. I decided to go with this one, but my second choice, I think, would have been this particular one. The rack was distorted, one of the other super practical features that the Procreate app has to offer, the painting. Then we have different ideas which weren't selected. Here I was playing around with different coffee tables, a couple of other paintings of mine, the office chair, and I was also thinking about going with this particular desk, and this is the desk I currently have, by the way. So I decided to go with the white one. See, less than 10 minutes and you have the final design concept ready. Now, I wanted to quickly show you how that loft was created. I'm going to open the time-lapse replay, and you see first we start with the perspective guide. This is a 1-point perspective, obviously. And then, based on those guidelines, whatever you call them, we start drawing our space from scratch. But obviously this particular project, this particular sketch was created based on the other quick design project, as you remember. So that kind of first you start with a simple collage, then you import the photo of the space, and then you insert all of the final furniture items there, and then based on all of that you create the final rendering for your client, which can also be used as a postcard for them. I'm going to quickly speed up the process And yeah, this is how we design our projects based on existing images. So this one is perfect for quick idea explanations in less than 10 minutes, and for this particular approach you would need one of the brushes, which is called the Clean Sketch brush. From the brush list I asked you to download at the beginning of this video. Okay, now let's move on to a short tutorial on my iPad. Let's now redesign the same loft but using our super quick sketching technique. All we need to do is to create a new layer, make sure that we have the Clean Sketch brush selected, and then our design process starts. All of the features we need are at the palm of our hands. In case we need to apply changes, we can do that without any problems because we know how to work with layers. So I'm sketching a very quick way because we have a lot of approaches to take a look at today, and I'd like to simply give you a sneak peek of what it's like to draw over the photos without focusing on being too neat. This approach combines both the power of our hand-drawn skills with the power of technology, allowing us again to stay as flexible as possible before moving on to the final design steps. Remember, when we create detailed mood boards, when we draw final renderings, and this is basically where our project starts. And again, see, because we work on separate layers, none of our pieces touch each other. But in order to be able to use this approach, here's kind of a spoiler alert for you, you need to actually know how to draw. You need to be familiar with perspectives. You need to know how the Procreate app works, and you also need to be confident in your lines. But if you aren't really confident, but you really like this approach, then you can simply ask Procreate for help. All you need to do is to work with the drawing guide feature, and on a new layer, you're gonna wanna do basically the same. See, but here our lines are in freehand. We simply use the integrated feature that Procreate app has to offer without us needing to draw anything manually. So you decide which approach you'd like to pick for your particular project. And in my opinion, this is the approach that is definitely going to wow your clients. And when they see you being able to sketch at the same time, at the spot, on the go, this will definitely give your work that wow effect, and making sure that your work is really up to date and you keep up with the industry standards, which is obviously speed, quality, understanding the space, and all of these things. Now I wanted to quickly show an idea for a social media post, and now we're going to move on to the next approach. Basically, this particular design technique can be used for one of your pictures. In case you're currently moving houses or apartments, you can take a picture inside your empty space, hold a key or whatever, and then all you need to do is to basically illustrate your design idea in the Procreate app over the photo. This approach will give your audience that, curiosity, what your future space will look like, and they will imagine themselves living there and what kind of design concept they would pick if they lived here, so to speak. And for your engagement is great because it will spark the conversation going, right? And for you, it's just pure joy to test your ideas before committing to some fixed, furniture items or to some design concept. And now on to the next design technique, I'd say, on our iPad. Of course, all types of mood boards, whether integrated, hand-drawn, or a mix of different techniques, can be created this way. And by the way, this particular texture board was created in less than 20 minutes. In my opinion, this is a perfect technique for organizing your initial design ideas. By the way, if you want to access a detailed step-by-step video tutorial on how to design and draw this particular texture board, you can access it directly below as part of my free workshop. All the links once again can be found below this video. And now let's move on to a short tutorial on my iPad. Now we're going to take a look at the creation process of that texture board. Basically, I created it twice. This is a detailed hand-drawn illustration. All of these elements were drawn completely from scratch. And this is a project which combines both the hand-drawn technique with the integrated approach. This texture is a hand-drawn texture. This texture is also hand-drawn texture, but as we can see, the coffee table, the wood texture, as well as the hexagonal tiles, they were imported into this project. And the lamp is kind of 50-50. I drew the first lamp and then I copied and pasted it so that I have two lamps instead of needing to draw the second one completely from scratch. And let me show you how you create complex patterns in the Procreate app. You start with one line, then you create as many duplicates as needed till you have the final texture here on your project. Once again, you'll be able to access this exact tutorial below this video for free. Okay, now onto the next design project, well, design approach. And this is how you achieve that unique mix of realism and artistic flair in your design, something your clients have probably never seen before. And here I'm speaking from my own experience. My clients often say something like, wow, I've never seen anything like this before, such a unique technique, so cool. And look, this so cool reaction is exactly what we want as experts, building a reputation as someone who is ahead of the curve, up to date with the latest technology, and is ready for the fast pace of the design world. And surprise, surprise, AI is on our list too. And you're probably wondering what the heck AI has to do with our list on iPad techniques, right? Well, my friend, this is where the power lies nowadays, but not in a sense like kind of way. First of all, it is an excuse. Because the question here is more like, are you going to adapt or are you going to fall behind? Because AI isn't going anywhere. And to be honest, I'm a creative and I've been working with AI for 2 years and my life has changed completely. AI has been acting like my therapist, like my business strategist, like my endless source of inspiration. I'd like to share all of those hacks with you too. I'd like to share my techniques on how I use AI to boost my workflow, how I use AI for building endless strategies for my marketing, how I generate endless ideas for my creative processes, how I save tons of time and money. And speaking about the last one, I recently lost thousands of euros by hiring the wrong expert, marketing expert, who promised me crazy things, even showed proof, but not so much. In the reality, nothing happened, tons of excuses, but I'm the one who made the decision, right? After that, I literally came back to ChatGPT, and I'm telling you, it has given me way better ideas than that so-called marketing expert. Of course, I'm not telling that every single marketing expert is like that. Of course not. I'm currently actually working with a fantastic one, which I found after that unlucky experience. But this is just, an example. This is, I guess, how we also become successful in business, by making our own choices, by making their own decisions, by making our mistakes, and then by trying to find solutions quickly, by trying to go outside our comfort zones. Anyway, before I go into this topic, because it needs a separate video in my opinion, if you've ever experienced something like that, please let me know in the comment box. I mean, when you, made the wrong decision, first of all, you really regretted it, but then it only showed that you really needed to make that mistake, if you know what I mean. Maybe it is giving you some other opportunities or something like that. And now let's dive into our AI tutorial, also on my iPad. And it's time to take a screenshot. These are my top 4 AI tools I use on my daily basis. ChatGPT helps me brainstorm and generate different ideas when it comes to marketing, content creation, but I don't use it for copywriting. Yes, because I still want to communicate my own ideas in my own style. And to be honest, when I see a copy written by ChatGPT, I can instantly say that it was written by ChatGPT. It doesn't matter how often you ask it to act like a human, or can you please make the copy sound humanized? It just doesn't work. Maybe sometimes it works, but you can still spot that it wasn't written by you. And that's why copywriting is still a skill that needs to be developed. Yes, AI and ChatGPT can help you improve it, can help you add some more, tweaks and tricks, so to speak, but it can't write for you. Well, it can, but it won't depict your brand in the most, in the most clear and unique way as you want it to be depicted. Now onto Midjourney. This is an AI tool to generate any kinds of images, and it helps you literally come up with really cool ideas when you feel stuck, for instance, when you want to generate some fresh ideas for this or that project, instead of needing to open Pinterest and go over those repetitive photos over and over again. Midjourney is the place for you to go. And also, what I do is I literally use photos from Midjourney for my own project, which I then design in the Procreate app. So for me, Midjourney acts as a friend, so to speak, as a partner with the Procreate app. Now, Spacely AI, this is something that I recently discovered, and this is a tool for interior design which will help you bring your empty space into a lively room. But again, based on that space, you're gonna want to keep developing your concept, because you can't just provide your client, with a picture generated with AI. We all want to be high-end experts, and we would need to do a little bit more than that, but it's a great starting point. Luma is an animation tool. I've tried it, not really satisfied, but I'm going to keep working with it. Maybe one day I'll come up with some cool strategies. And these are my all-time favorite AI tools I literally use in my daily work. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. Congratulations everyone, and I can totally understand if you're now also eager to learn this revolutionary hand-drawn 3D approach. And you will, because I teach proven tools and techniques tailored to your specific design needs. Whether it is drawing completely from scratch with digital markers, whether it is designing over a photo, whether it is working with textures and mood boards, whether it is bringing computer models to life, and the list goes on and on. And here's the proof. Meet my students inside my Design and Drawing Academy called And She Draws Big Academy. These are the kinds of results you'll be able to achieve with my guidance too. And because you stayed till the end of this video, thank you so much, by the way, for your time today. That means a lot to me. I'd like to give you something. The Academy turns 4, and I'd like to celebrate it with you by first giving you our discount birthday code for 10% off the full price, and by gifting you this planner, this custom ASDB planner, which I designed for a creative as a creative, with daily idea development sections, with daily sketch pages, with daily fill-ins, with pages for our big vision, and I'll ship it to you no matter where you are in the world. And these are the kinds of results we'll be able to achieve with my guidance inside my And She Draws Big Academy. Thank you so much. Happy creating. See you in the next YouTube video or inside my And She Draws Big Academy. Bye bye everyone.